Now we're going to do a little bit of an exercise. I want you to turn to the person next to you, and the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to turn to them and ask them what they want to do in order to be successful. So what they want. Wait, ladies. I know you're eager. 1 second, ladies. 1 second, ladies. Just before you start, I'm so sorry because I need to phrase that right. Otherwise, this exercise is not going to work. So I want you to turn to the person next to you and I want you to ask them what they want in order to be successful, okay? What do they want? What do they desire? What is it that they deem to be success? So for example, you might say, being able to retire my mum is the meaning of successful. For some people, it might be driving a G-Wagon is successful. For you, it might be, and this is something that I dream of having a walk-in closet with a chandelier, Lord, and then I open one drawer and it's just sunglasses from Gucci to Dolce & Gabbana, everything. I'm Congolese, so I like designer. I do love me some designer. But that is something that I know that when I step into that walk-in wardrobe with the chandelier and it has the little, those little sofa things that you can sit on and you're just admiring what God has done for you. That for me is evidence of my success. So I want to turn to the person next to you. I want to give you 1 minute, literally 1 minute, and just talk about what you deem to be successful. What do you deem to be successful? Okay, a dance school. You're a dancer, right? Yeah. Okay. A big hair business. Okay, are you selling hair at the moment? Okay. I love it. I love it so much that I do hair. I will do my hair done, so you're more than welcome to do my hair anytime. Okay, anytime. You know what? Retiring your mom, and you them to be like, Mom, you don't have to work anymore, you don't have to do anything anymore, you don't have to sit down. Listen, my parents, they do so much sacrifice, so for me to be able to do it. 30 more seconds. Make sure everyone has spoken to someone. Lovely lady, you've not spoken to anybody. I can see you. Alright, ladies, if I can get everyone's attention, please. Thank you guys so much. I heard so much conversation. I love it. I love the fact that you guys are really interacting with this. Now, I'm going to get you to turn back to that exact same person. And again, if you decide that you're not going to talk to anyone, I will come and I will drag you out into the front and we will have a conversation in front of everybody, okay? So don't do it to yourself. But turn to the person next to you again, and this time, I want you to ask them what type of person they believe that they need to be in order to get there, or what they need to do in order for them to get to that place of success. So I'll give you another example just in case people are confused. Ladies, I know that you're eager, I know that you're excited, which is great, but let me just finish it real quick so that we can go in time. So for example, you might say, do you know what, I know that I need to be a more confident person in order for me to get to that place. Or I know that I need to work harder, longer hours. I know that I've been sitting there saying, oh, I'm tired, I've come back from work, I've worked 2 hours, now I need to work 5 after work. Whatever it is that you deem that you need to either do or be in order for you to get to that place of success. So 1 minute, guys, go. Right, back in. So what type of person do they need to be in order to gain success? What would you say? Right. You're back up. It's exciting, man. And that's what you told me. You know that I'm going to be like watching the video. All right, ladies. Thank you so very much. Again, I'm so sorry to break up your conversation. I hope that you guys are not taking this time to talk about bae or your baes, plural for some. I know some of y'all out in the streets, but it's okay. I ain't going to talk about that today. I'm just joking. So the last thing that, child the ghetto, but the last thing that I want us to do is, again, turn to that person and I want you to just ask them a simple question. Are they doing it? So whatever that it is. So for example, I had these two beautiful ladies at the front, and this wonderful lady over here mentioned that she just needs to be more consistent. She just needs to be consistent. She had I hope you don't mind me saying.
Go for it.
Is that okay?
Yes,
okay. So she said that she had a baby not too long ago, about 9 months ago, and she feels that she's using it as a bit of an excuse, like, oh, I just had a baby, so I can't. Oh, I just had a baby, so I can't. So for her, it's like, listen, no, you can't keep using that as an excuse. I need to use that, if anything, as motivation. I need to go and now do what I said I was going to do. So I just want you to turn to the person next to you and just ask them, are they doing it? If so, what are they doing? Go ahead, you've got 30 seconds for this one. 30 seconds left. All right, ladies, I'm so sorry. I cut your time a little bit short. I'm so sorry, ladies. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm so sorry, ladies. I cut your time a little bit short just because I'm trying to make sure we cover everything today. I have so much to talk about today, so I want to make sure we cover everything. So just very, very quickly, like, we are a room full of amazing, beautiful, by the way, very gorgeous looking women. And I want us to be honest. This is a space where, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but a safe space, you know, where we can be honest with one another. So I just want you to raise your hand if you believe that you are an individual that is doing what is necessary in order for them to move towards success. Just raise your hand. Even after speaking to the person next to you, you feel like, yeah, I'm doing what I need to do. Okay, a few hands are going up. Okay, ish, some hands as well. Okay, put your hands down. Now raise your hands if you feel like you are not doing what you need to do in order for you to get to that place of success. Or at the very least, not doing enough. You know that you're doing more. Put your hands up. High. Own it. Okay, that's the majority of the room. Right, so everyone else who feels like they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, I don't need to talk to you because clearly you've already got it sort of figured out. But the rest of you guys who know that either there's still room for improvement, you are the people that I'm speaking to today. And by the end of this, this afternoon, I want you to walk away having felt like, do you know what? Today is the day that things change. I never go anywhere. I never go to any speaking engagement without wanting to literally transform the lives that I meet. I do not go in there with the intention of being kiki and ha-ha, because I understand that life can be tough. There are certain situations and circumstances that many of us have seen ourselves in, and we want more and we want to do better. So there is no way that you can get there unless you decide to mobilize yourself. And I want this to be the day where you decide, you know what? I can't keep going the way that things have been going in my life. I don't just want to keep coasting or keep being mediocre. I know that maybe I am doing great, but I want to do greater. I want to do more. I want to achieve more, because guess what? I deserve more. And that's the kind of attitude that I want every single person to leave today. I don't want you going back exactly the same as you were yesterday, because then there was no point you coming here. You should have stayed at home. And I'm going to be talking some real truths. I'm going to be talking some real facts. It might hurt. It might come right to your chest. But it's okay. It's all in order for us to transform and to do better. Because I believe that every single person in this room deserves more. No matter what anyone has ever told you, I promise you, I guarantee you, you deserve it. You deserve the absolute best. So is everyone ready to do that with me today? Yeah. I'm not going to lie. You guys sounded like you weren't too convinced. Is everyone ready to do that with me today? Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies. You can sit down. Give yourselves a round of applause. Guys, come on. Sammy's like, come on. She's like, come on. Get it together, guys. Don't embarrass me today. Don't do it. But no, first of all, I just want to start off by just saying thank you so much. The fact that I've come here, I've never been to Ireland before. I've never come here. Honestly, this is like the most amazing, warm welcome. So I appreciate every single one of you guys coming out today. And I really do hope that I can leave you guys with something. Like I said, I'm someone that people might call a motivational speaker, but I don't like calling myself that. I want to transform. I'm a transformative speaker. That's what I want. So I hope that people will be somewhat transformed as they leave this room today. So just in case you have no clue who I am, or you're thinking, okay, why the hell is Nissy, I guess, having the space or the floor to be able to kind of take a session like this. So my name is Nissy T. I am predominantly a content creator. So what that basically means is that I create content online. So I create content on YouTube, Instagram, on Twitter, just online in general, mostly focused on motivation, empowerment, encouraging people, because again, I believe that every single individual has the potential to be great. Sometimes you just need someone like me to just kick you up the backside and push you towards it, and that's exactly what I do. Aside from that as well, I'm also a speaker, so I do a lot of stuff like this, like I said, transformational, okay? A lot of stuff like this. I get invited to universities, schools, even in London at prestigious venues like the Houses of Parliament, City Hall. I've been doing that for quite a while now. I'm also a presenter as well, so I do both radio and, this is like some exclusive news, but as of next week, I'm officially going to be a presenter on a podcast. Which is very, very exciting. A lot of people have been asking me for it. A lot of people, for some reason, like listening to me. And I'm like, okay, well, you like my voice. I've teamed up with my co-host on radio as well, and we just decided we're going to kick off a podcast. So literally on Valentine's Day, we're dropping our first episode. So please make sure you keep an eye out for that as well. And then hosting events, doing a whole bunch of different things. I'm also the founder of something called the Power Class Masterclass, which is based in London, but we're hoping to travel around very, very soon. Who knows, maybe Ireland. Which is basically a bi-monthly event that is focused on helping people reclaim their power. One thing that I got sick and tired of seeing was individuals, maybe someone who's even in this room today, who because of life situations, life circumstances, people have beaten you up, people have told you can't, you won't, you will never do it, or maybe even your own family members or friends, or just going through life feeling like I just don't deserve it or I'm not adequate enough. Whatever it is, I got sick and tired of seeing people in that place and limiting their potential. So my whole thing was, how can I help people literally snatch back everything that they deserve? Take back every bit of their power, not to put it in the hands of somebody else, but to put it back in their own hands so that they can live their life to the fullest possible potential. And as of the end of this month, there's a lot of things that I've been working on, guys. Like what you were saying before about not sleeping. Oh, I have not been sleeping. But, it's all good, it's all good. Also another I'm just dropping some exclusive stuff to you guys. This is how you know there's love here. There's love. I haven't officially announced it yet, but I will officially, at the end of this month, be launching NT Media, which is ultimately a social media marketing, management, and branding agency. So we've got some people, I've built up a team now, which is amazing, where we'll have things like graphic design, we're going to have videography, photography, basically helping individuals like yourself who want to start their business but don't know where to start, don't really have the people to kind of show them the blueprint on how to get things done, and maybe just need help in terms of branding. So it might just be you need a logo, you might just need help with putting stuff together in terms of the color scheme, whatever it is. We basically want to offer that so that everyone has the chance to build up a strong business that stands a chance. And I think I've touched on everything. Yes, I have. So that's a little bit about myself. And I basically come here today because, well, firstly because Sammy asked me to. So I came here because Sammy asked me to. But also because I come from a place whereby I have seen what it is to struggle. I have struggled through with my family. So just in case you don't know, I am Congolese. Oh my Congolese people, don't embarrass me. Don't do that. So I am Congolese. I get excited because, Congolese, Nigerians are always everywhere. You guys are lucky that I love you guys, okay? You're very lucky that I love you guys. But Nigerians, damn, you guys overpopulate. Like, you guys just be having kids every day. Like, damn. Everywhere you go, it's always Nigeria. Yes. But so I get a bit excited when I hear from Congo Congolese people as well, but that's where my parents are from. They were born and raised there, and they moved over into the UK, into London specifically in the 90s. Experienced everything from racism, abuse, being told to go back home because you don't belong here, etc., etc. And we basically grew up in a state of a bit of basically poverty. Not necessarily poverty maybe back home, but what would be called poverty in the UK. So not necessarily coming from a space whereby if I wanted something, my mum would just be like, yeah, here you go, here's £100, go and buy some new trainers. Even though my parents tried, they did their very best, and I love them for it. It wasn't necessarily the life that I would even want anyone else to necessarily live. So much so that when I turned about 15, I just decided, you know what? I know that it's not exactly legal to work right now, but I'm going to go and work. Don't worry, I wasn't doing anything crazy like twerking on a pole. Not that I'm judging anyone that does. Listen, your hustle is your hustle. But for myself, I started doing some cash in hand jobs here and there, odd jobs. And from there, I just started supporting myself. Now, the reason why I mention that is that because a lot of people seem to think that because I am so bold, so confident, and I stand in front of people, that I don't struggle, or that I haven't been through things, or that I haven't cried or been an emotional wreck multiple times, or that I haven't doubted myself, or that I haven't been in a place whereby I'm looking at myself in the mirror and thinking, what is even the point? But I stand here as somebody who is here to tell you that, listen, you can come from that. You can come from poverty, you can come from a broken home, you can come from nothing, you can come from a space where you don't have role models, you don't have anyone to give you a blueprint, you don't have anyone to show you how it's supposed to be done, and you can still be successful. But a lot of it is very, very much dependent on how hard you decide to go and how you decide to do things in your own life. The choices you decide to make. Now, first of all, just the fact that you guys are all here today shows me that you are all women who want something more. Because you made a choice that on your Saturday, where you could be anywhere else, you decided that you were going to be in a room where you could learn and you could grow. So the choices that you make are truly important. So I wanted to ask you guys again, actually, going back to the question that I asked you before. Put your hands up if you feel like you are doing what you need to do. You feel like you're there, you've arrived, you've sorted out your business, you know what you're doing. I'm only here because I came to support Sammy, to be honest with you. Raise your hand if you feel like that's you. Okay, fair enough. And raise your hand if you feel like you're an individual that's just not doing what they should be doing in order for them to get further, develop their business, succeed, do whatever. Okay, put your hands down. Now raise your hands if you, like the conversation you had before, if you know what you are supposed to be doing. I.e., you know that you need to put in more time. You know that you need to be consistent. You know that you need to start up that Instagram page that you said you were going to start up 5 years ago, but you still haven't done it. Raise your hands if you feel like you know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, and my question to you today is, if you know, why are you not doing it? Because that's often the problem. I get so many people that will come and run and be like, oh, I've got this amazing idea. I've got this business that I want to start. I've got this, I've got that. And I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? Oh, I don't know where to start. Then when you sit and you ask them, you say, okay, so you know the individual that you need to be. You know the type of person that you're trying to be. You know the role that you're trying to fit in or the industry you're trying to get into. You know what you need to do. Why are you not doing it? And one thing that I want us to do today is to kill excuses. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to build your own, if you want to have your own, if you want to develop, if you want to, like me, one of my aims and the reason, and one of my reasons why, which is what I love what you were saying about having a reason why, is because I don't want to keep seeing my mum struggling every single day or struggling month to month. I don't want that. I want to be able to retire my mum and say, Mum, you've done enough. You sit down, let me do the rest. That's my why. That's why I do it. So what's your why? Why bother? Why bother coming to an event like this if you're just going to make excuses about it anyway? You know that you were supposed to start the Instagram page, so why haven't you done it? You know that you were going to go and find a mentor on whatever it is that you're trying to do, so why have you not done it? You know that you need to be more consistent. Consistency is so key, and I'll be talking a little bit about it in the section where I talk about self-discipline. So why have you not done it? And let's be real, the only person that you can blame is yourself. Let's be real for a second, because you love to blame everybody else. Mm-hmm. Oh, I had a baby, so I can't do it. Mm-hmm. What did your baby do to you? Your baby didn't ask to come into the earth. Hashtag I'm sending. Shame. Okay, I'm sending. Trust me, I have enough time. I'm so sorry, but you have 24 hours in your day. No, it's not that you don't have time. You're not organized. You are not organized. You are not organized. Sorry. I did say I'm sorry. I did say I was going to come for your chest today. I'm sorry. Yeah, girls, hold your wigs down. I'm coming to snatch some edges today. You might lose a couple of edges by the end of today. But it's in order for us to do better. Because I hear it too much. I get sick and tired of the same old rubbish, the same crap. That people will say, I want to do this, I want more, I want to, take my family out of poverty, I want to retire my mum. My mum is 50 or 60 and she's still waking up every day at 5 a.m. But yet you are still there being lazy. You're not waking up on time. You're not waking up a little bit earlier so that you can do a couple of hours of work before you go to your 9 to 5. Or you're not coming back a little bit earlier. Instead you say, oh, I'm going to the pub with my friends on a Friday. What? When you haven't even done your business plan. When you haven't even gone to sort out what it is that you actually want to do. I am sick and tired of hearing excuses. And I want you to really look within yourself today and just look at yourself and say, what excuses have I been making for why I can't take one step further into my path of success? Now, I'm not saying to you that just by a click of a finger, you work hard for a year, you're going to make it. That might not happen. Maybe it takes 2 years. Maybe it takes 5. Maybe it will take you 10. But as long as you remain consistent and as long as you continue to push yourself, you will get there. That's guaranteed. Hard work shows. Those that are hustling shows. Those that are willing to do what other people are not willing to do shows. It shows up in the level of success. It shows up in the impact that you have. You guys would not have me here today if there was no impact that I was leaving on people. Not because I came out of the womb, and I was talking to one of the ladies at the front earlier. I always say people seem to think that I came out of the womb being able to speak like this. People seem to think that I came out of the womb this powerful, confident person, because I am a powerful, confident woman. Right? People seem to think that I came out of the womb like this, but you guys would never believe that when I first started hosting events, I would be shaking, talking about, this person's coming on stage, okay, no, I wasn't meant to do that. Sammy, you think that you go, well, where's Sammy? Where did she go? They were. She thought that she messed up. The amount of events that you guys didn't see, thank God they're not online or anything, but the amount of events that I did that I messed up, that I did things wrong, but it was because of consistency in developing my craft. Because I understood that, you know what, I might not understand it right now, but I know that this thing that I have is going to get me somewhere. It's going to break me out of certain molds, and it's going to allow me to bring other people like yourself with me in that journey. Now imagine if I decided to give up and stop. Now imagine if I decided to just say, do you know what, actually this isn't really working out for me right now. I mean, it's too much hard work. I'm too tired. I mean, I've got my job to do, and I know that I want to be an entrepreneur one day, but really and truly, I'm just going to keep making my boss loads of money that they would never even care. If I decided to get sick and leave the job, they will replace me within 2.5 seconds. But you know what, I'm going to stay anyway. What is the point? What is the point? So that's something that I want you guys to really think about today. Stop making excuses. There is no good entrepreneur, no good business person, no good business woman who makes excuses about what it is that they can do, what it is that they want to do. You have to learn to stop making excuses. And for some people, it's not even about excuses. It's you think, I've got plenty of time. Don't worry, I'm still young. I'm in my early 20s. I'm in my early 30s. I'm in my 40s. You think you've got plenty of time. I'm so sorry, but the more you can continue to neglect your talent, to neglect your craft, to neglect what it is, there are literally other people that are connected to your destinies that are suffering because you won't align yourself, because you won't stand in formation. Let me remind you that each and every one of us is on borrowed time. Look at what recently happened with Kobe Bryant. Just like that, he was gone. Just in case you have no idea who that is, Kobe Bryant, world famous NBA player, basketballer, incredible. Him, his daughter, 13 years old. Gigi Bryant, Gianna Bryant, 13, talented. She was the one that was supposed to carry on her dad's legacy. She was the one that every time, he even did an interview, I think it was Jimmy Fallon, I think it was, where he basically was speaking to her, and he was explaining how he used to say, people used to say to him, oh, you need to have a boy, because he's going to play basketball, you need to have a boy that will carry the legacy. And she will come and be like, Dad, don't worry about them. I'm the legacy. 13 years old, and just like that, she's gone. Died in a helicopter crash. Never expected it. She probably thought she had plenty of time. Kobe Bryant, 41 years of age, probably thought he had plenty of time. Now, the only difference between yourself and Kobe is that Kobe left behind a legacy. What will you leave behind if you die today? If you were to just go today, you leave this planet, this earth. Now, I'm not talking to the person who's like, I'm happy to just be in the background. I'm happy to not leave anything behind. You know what? That's fine. This isn't for you. But I'm talking to the individuals that know that there's something more in the inside of them, that they know that they're hungry for more. I'm talking to the individual that's actually looking at themselves thinking, I have a voice. I can sing. I know that I want to leave my print on this earth by touching people's soul with my voice. I have the ability to cook. I want to make people feel good when they eat my food. What legacy do you want to leave behind, no matter how big or how small? Maybe your legacy is just that you are just happy to be a mum. And that is absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with saying that, you know what, that's the path that I choose. I want to be a mum, but how about you be a great mum? Not just be a mum, but be a fantastic mum that raises children up to be incredible go-getters, that raises children up that can say, that was my mum and she instilled this power in me. That's your legacy. It doesn't necessarily have to be what I do. It doesn't have to be, oh, I go on world stages and I travel all around the world, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be that. Whatever it is, maybe it's even in your community. Maybe you look around in your community and you're sick and tired of seeing people living in poverty, living in bad situations, kids getting involved in whatever it is, knife crime, gun crime, whatever. We have a huge problem with it in London. Maybe it's that. That might be your legacy. You might never get rewarded for it in person. Nobody might ever come to you and say, oh my gosh, I saw you on YouTube for all the incredible work that you did, and guess what? I want to hand you an award. Maybe you will never get that. But you will still leave behind a legacy in your community. Every single person sitting in this room today has the potential to leave something behind. So when will you cut out the excuses, and when will you stop wasting time? Every single one of us is on borrowed time. We're on borrowed time. And I think the reason why I wanted to emphasize that time thing as well is because a lot of people then do the opposite. They think that they're too old. They think that, oh, well, I'm seeing 20-year-olds running around and starting up their own lash line. I'm 50. Why the hell will I be able to do it? Excuse me? Because you're still alive? You're still here? As long as you still have breath in your body, as long as you are still here, and I was talking about it on my live yesterday, and I was mentioning that, I said, as long as you have breath in your body, there is still a purpose that you need to fulfill. There is still something that you need to do. Again, I said this yesterday. I said the only people that can turn around and say that their mission is done on this earth is those that are in a coffin 6 feet under, or those that have been cremated, or however it is that you wish to be disposed of when you die. But those are the only individuals that have the right to turn around and say, my purpose here is done. I've got nothing else to offer. As long as you are alive, as long as you are breathing, and as long as there's something that you are passionate about, you might be sitting there thinking, even when it comes to hair, because a lot of people, especially those, I'll speak to the Africans for a second, that may have had parents who looked at them and said, why do you want to do hair? Because oftentimes in, for example, Africa, hair was considered as something menial. Like, people do it on the side, like, you don't do that as a profession. But you don't even realize that by you doing someone's hair, they came to you that morning wanting to commit suicide. But just by you doing their hair and speaking to them and having a conversation with them and seeing them, it stopped them from doing it. That's why I say that you might think that what you have in your hand is so small, but you need to look closer. Too many people think that, oh, but I just don't have anything to offer. I don't have any talents. Maybe it's just the fact that you can sit and you can listen to people. Do you know that's a talent in itself? Mm-hmm. I had to learn that skill because I can do a lot of talking. I do the opposite side. A hell of a lot of talking. The listening part was a bit hard. Especially when I got with my partner, it was a bit hard. Trying to listen to what he says and not just pick out the bits that I liked. Yeah. Very difficult. But listening, maybe you're just an individual who literally that's all you do. You have a gift, you have a grace of listening where when people come to you, they can talk to you for hours and they just feel like they are relieved of all their stress. Do you know how much of a blessing that is? But you're looking at it as nothing. You're looking at it as something to throw away. You don't realize how blessed you are. Now, something that I really wanted to touch on as well was the fact that a lot of us, the reason why we want to start up businesses, the reason why we want to do what we want to do outside of the constraints or the limitations of work is because we realize that there are people relying on us. And I love what you said, Brenda, right? Yes, okay, Brenda mentioned before. You literally said that a woman makes the household. I think that a woman makes so much more than that. A woman, not that a household is not enough, but they make up the household, they make up their communities, they make up the world. The world functions when women stand up and stand in position. When women are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, when women are just like, oh, I'm going to give up on myself, oh, I don't care anyway, oh, I don't have anything to offer this world. When women do that, the repercussions are so great. So great. Because we are the individuals that birth, not just physically, I'm not just talking about physically, but that literally give birth to so much. Out of us things grow. Out of us things develop. So if there's anyone here today that's like, oh yeah, but I've got that idea, but I'm not 100% sure if I should do it. I'm not too sure if I would even be successful at it. Why not just try? Because you never know who you could be touching in doing it. You never know whose life you might be changing. And you might be sitting there thinking today that entrepreneurship is an easier road. And I love the fact that we were so raw and so honest. Let me tell you right now, being an entrepreneur is probably the hardest things that I have ever done in my life. In August 2018, that's when I officially quit my job. I worked in marketing for coming up to about a year. But I felt as though, I don't know if anyone else has had it, maybe it's just me, but every time I was going into work, I felt like a bit of me was like being dripped out of me. It's like sucking me dry every day. And I knew that it was a problem when all of a sudden, I'll be going into work and I started to feel less confident. I wasn't as open as I was before. I started to question myself a little bit. I knew something had to shift when I saw that in me, because I was like, this isn't me. This is not how I am. Normally I'm a bubbly person, I'm quite a happy person. All of a sudden I'm becoming a bit of a recluse. So that's when I decided, August 2018, I'm going to leave my job. Now I thought I had an exit strategy. I thought I had a plan. But you know, people always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah. Yeah. I think God was chuckling, like literally, like crying, like, look at this girl, she's so cute. She thinks that she's got it all planned, but it's going to go nothing according to your plan. So my exit strategy was me breaking down all the different things that I thought at the time that I was going to make money from. So for example, speaking engagements, YouTube videos, doing all these various things. And that's actually a good task that I would suggest to you guys. If you're looking for a practical way to actually know how you can make money from the various talents that you might have, because maybe you're sitting here and you've got 4 things that you're great at. You can do hair, you can dance, you can play sports, you can do this. You can make money from all of them. Why the hell not? So I put together an exit strategy and I wrote down all of the different things that I know that I'm good at, I'm talented at, and that I believe can add value to other people. So after doing that, I broke it down and I said, okay, I could be making potentially X amount from this, just in kind of judging from what I was making the months before. Then when I actually left my job, real life hit me. Real life happened. All of a sudden, and for some reason, I don't know why I did this, but for some reason, a few months before I left my job, I decided to get a car, which was like very stupid. Don't do that, guys. I was very dumb at the time. I'm telling you stuff that you don't have to do. But I decided to get a car, which is a massive liability. But for someone like me that travels a lot, it is quite useful as well. So there's a bit of a balance there. But I decided to get a car as well. So that meant monthly payments. That meant car finance. That meant petrol. Money. Petrol is hella expensive. That meant parking tickets and fines, which love to come at me from left, right, and center. So frustrating. But all of a sudden, the money that I'd saved up, the little money that I'd put together, I was like, okay, over the next few months, I'm going to be good. Even if I leave my job and I can't really, do anything for the next month or so, I'm going to be good. I'll be fine. All of a sudden, all these tickets started coming out of nowhere. A bill came out of nowhere. I was paying for this, paying for that. And literally within about maybe 6 weeks or 2 months, everything that I had ran dry. Everything that I had ran dry. And one thing about me is that I'm very open and honest about my journey. And I even talked about it in a YouTube video last year, where I literally said, guys, I got to a point whereby I couldn't even get on the bus. And the bus in London costs £1.50. £1. I think that's like, how many euros is that? That's probably like €2, right? €2. But my bank account, if I went, it would go beep beep. Not in the beep, as in taking my oyster, because we do oysters in London, you know? Yeah. But it wouldn't be like beep, except my oyster. It would say beep beep. It would say rejection, get off the bus. You can afford it, honey. Stay at home, okay? Eat noodles all day, Indomie, whatever, because you can't afford nothing. I remember talking about in that video, and I was so heartbroken because I was like, I felt like, and for myself, my faith is such a big factor to me as well. It's such a big thing. So for me, I was like, but I felt like God was telling me, like, it's time to move. So how have I now moved? I've now stepped out of the boat and I'm sinking. This is not what I expected. I expected to float on water, come and walk, but I'm sinking. What is going on? Now, there were two choices that I could make in that moment. Either I could continue to sink and say, do you know what? I'm drowning, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. There's no point. What's the point? How can I leave my job where I had a comfy salary that I was getting every single month? I now leave for me not to have any money. Or the other decision was, I don't really know where this is actually going to go, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep pursuing my vision and my dreams because there's something inside of me that's telling me something has to come out of this. There is no way that I'm experiencing all of these trials and tribulations. There's no way that I'm going through all of this hardship. There's no way that I have this level of hunger in the inside of me for me not to succeed. I.e., I am not giving myself the option to fail. Yeah. And that's the difference between maybe me and you. Me, I, Nissy T, decide that I have no option but to succeed. There is no if or what about it. There isn't. But for a lot of you maybe sitting here today who even have their own businesses and are even maybe questioning, maybe you came in today and you were like, I am on the verge. This business is dragging me and I'm on the verge of quitting my job. I'm on the leaving my business. I am on the verge of going back to my regular life because at least I got a pay. What option will you take? Because you have to get like that. You have to stand up and say, do you know what? I don't even give myself the space to not be successful. I know that it's hard right now, but I know it will pass. I'm not going to be stuck here forever. I might have to ride the waves for a few months, but I just know in the depth of me that whatever it is that I'm producing right now, whatever it is that I'm doing is going to come out with some form of fruit. There has to be. I've planted too much, I've worked too hard, I've tore the ground too hard for me not to succeed. But you have to give yourself a non-negotiable. Your success should be a non-negotiable. Some of you guys have been negotiating your success for months, for years of your life. 1 minute you're in, next minute you're out. 1 minute you're in, next minute people think that you're dancing. Make a decision. Either you are in or you are out. Your success should be a non-negotiable. And with that, it comes with the sense or with a feeling of urgency. And this is where I want to touch a little bit on self-discipline. I had to become self-disciplined in that moment. I had to, again, make a decision about what it is that I wanted to achieve. Either I quit now and regret it later, or I keep pursuing this. And even if it doesn't work out the way that I had intended, at least I know I tried. And I tried to the fullest extent. Not, I tried for 2.5 seconds, so, it's not working out, so I'm just going to quit now. No, I tried my very hardest. So in that moment where I literally did not even have £1.50 in my account, I remember for me, prayer is a big deal. So I said, you know what, we're going to fast and pray, okay? Because things need to shift right now, okay? But aside from that, I knew that I had to put in more work. I had to put myself out there. So what did that mean? More content. What did that mean? Going in front of people. What did that mean? Going and chasing opportunities even when nobody will give it to me. Something about myself is that I literally call myself the person that is constantly shooting their shot. Even if I miss the target, I don't care, at least I tried. I will always shoot my shot. Every single opportunity that I have ever gotten, every opportunity has never been through an application form. It's always been because I just stood there and I decided to speak and have a conversation with someone. It's because I decided to step out and say, do you know what? This conversation kind of intimidates me a little bit, but I'm going to put myself out there anyway. Because I know that if I don't, I could be missing out on a great opportunity. You have to be willing to shoot your shot, even when you are scared, even when your voice shakes, even when your hand is shaking. You have to be willing to convince yourself that your success is more important than your momentary insecurity. I'm going to say that one more time because that sounded really nice. That came out of nowhere. Thank you, Jesus. Your success is more important than your momentary insecurity. That insecurity that you have, will this person like me? How will this person respond? Will they give me that contract? Will they say yes to working together in terms of being business partners or whatever it is? They might say no, but so what? You live and you move on to do something else. But what if, just what if they decided to turn around and say yes? So every single opportunity I've had, whether it be even when I started doing speaking engagements, a lot of it was me just standing out and being like, hey, do you need a host? Do you need someone to host an event? I'm not that great just yet, but I know that I can use your platform to get better. And then even when it came later on now, like I mentioned to you guys before, I'm kicking off this agency at the end of this month. And that's because I was doing some freelance work where I was actually helping smaller businesses and smaller brands to develop their social media. Again, it came from shooting my shot. I remember there was one time, very, very quick story, as we detour a little bit. There was one time where I was in my co-working office space, which, by the way, again, I got for free because I shot my shot and I approached them and I said, listen, hey, I've got a bit of a following on social media. So how about I do some promo stuff for you guys and you guys let me use the space for free, okay? Shout out to X and Y X in London. So if you ever need a space to work in London, let me know, I can hook you up. Yeah. So for me, I was there and I was like, okay, I know that I need to make more money. What I'm making right now is unacceptable. I want to make more money. I remember sitting in the office and overhearing a conversation that a lady who is now my client was having with somebody else saying, oh damn, I'm looking for someone to help me with social media. Like I've met up with so many different people, I've put out adverts, but something just isn't clicking. Like I'm just not connecting with them. I don't feel like I can work with them. So in that moment I had to think, okay, do I approach her? Do I not? What should I say? Is she going to be really like, you were eavesdropping on my conversation and you need to go and sit over there? Or is she going to think that I'm a bit weird? But I said, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. Because what the hell? What could possibly go wrong in this moment? She says no, okay, I move on. But she literally came and sat next to me, and after about a minute of contemplating, I just turned to her and I said, oh, I'm so sorry to bother you, and I'm so sorry you might think I was eavesdropping, which I really was. But you don't tell them that, okay? Especially if you're trying to make them your client, don't tell them that. Just say, oh no, I just happened to overhear your conversation, and I know that you were interested in someone looking after your social media. Language is very important, very key, but that's a story for another day. But I heard that you were, really frustrated trying to look for someone that can help you with your social media. I'm actually someone that focuses on social media. I'm a digital strategist. I have helped other people grow their social media platforms, and I've grown my own to X amount. I have X amount of followers. Is there any way that maybe I could help you? And just like that, this woman turned around and was like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's have a conversation. That then led to another conversation, which then led to an interview. Once she interviewed me, she was like, oh my gosh, I love you. I think you're great. Let's work together. Then we took a step further than that. She didn't only say, okay, let's work together for a small amount of money, which wasn't a lot, but I was grateful. I was going to accept it. Bless you. I was going to accept it. We now move forward, which is actually what led me to building up this agency now. She then said, oh, but I need someone that does graphic design. I need someone that does this. I need someone that does that. And I was like, wait a minute. These are things that people are constantly looking for. There's constantly someone looking for a graphic designer, constantly looking for someone looking for a photographer, a videographer. Hold up. This is a money opportunity here. And that's another thing I want to say to you ladies. Find opportunities where you might not necessarily see them. You need to look closer. Rather than dismissing certain things, if you're seeing problems, it means that you could be the solution. So I looked closer and I said, okay, wait a minute. Rather than me just offering this one service, how about I offer the whole package? And we sat down and I said that to her and I pitched it to her. And she was like, do you know what? I'm going to be your very first client. Now that started off from me just being able to approach her and say, do you know what? I think I can help you. But some of you guys sitting here today are still stuck even to put your foot forward and say, I think I can help you. Because again, you are too busy battling in your mind, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't know how to speak, or I don't know how I can approach this person. You are taking out so much time while there are other people passing you by because they are just willing to step out, even when they don't know where they're going to land. So that's something that I remind you of today. And just as we wrap up, I know that my time is going. These guys are like, hurry up, get off the stage, get off the stage, get off the stage. But the one thing that I wanted to kind of leave with, which I touched on a little bit, is about servitude. And I touched on it on my Instagram live yesterday as well. People in business only buy into your business when they believe that you add value. A lot of you guys are struggling in business because you're not adding value to anyone's life, anyone's development. You're not adding anything. You seem to think that just because you have a great idea, you can go and start a business. Now that business is not making money, that's what you call a hobby, not a business. If you're not making money, it is a hobby, honey. Stop saying that it's a business because you're not making any revenue. It is a hobby. But in order for you to start making money, now I'm not going to turn around and say I'm the most business expert, I'm making millions of pounds, not yet. But we're going to get there, we're building on it. But the reason why I'm able to make money and I'm able to go a year later sustaining myself, my car, my bills, whatever it is, planning for a whole wedding now, why I'm able to do... We don't have time. Why I'm able to go and do that is because I know that I can add value to people's lives. I'm offering them something that adds value. For example, you might not think that hair adds value, but trust me, the moment I put a wig on my head, I feel good about myself. I'm like, hello, you're adding value. You're adding value to your customers' lives because they will look in the mirror and they're like, girl, you look so cute today. And they will go and step out to that interview or that whatever it is, go onto that date and feel like, yes, I am ready, I'm prepared. But you need to look at where you can add value to people's lives. And oftentimes the reason why you can't add value is because you are selfish. You seem to think that your business is about you. Let me tell you right now, that is the biggest lie about business. Business is not about you, it's about the customer who you're serving. So if you want to be good in business, you want to offer people something that people will buy, think about how you can serve, less how you can take. You need to think about how you can allow yourself to show people that they need you. You need to show people that, listen, you need to come back and buy lashes from Sammy because they're the best lashes that you ever had. They're the greatest ones because they make you feel good. They make you look at your face and think you look beautiful. Well, they don't look beautiful with that, but you look even better. Okay? You need to offer value to individuals. And that really starts with how to lead yourself first. In terms of leadership, often people want to talk about how can I be a good leader, how can I run a business, how can I run a team. But you're still in a place where, one, you are selfish. So then that means that you are not even able to lead yourself first anyway, before you lead anybody else. Oftentimes there are too many people who, I'm not perfect, but you're too busy fighting with your customers. You're too busy being rude. You're too busy not taking people's advice. You see it as people being haters and wanting to block your blessings or whatever it is. You can't even lead yourself. So how the hell do you expect to lead a team? So again, that is a chance for you to look at yourself. What are things that I need to improve within myself so that I can lead myself first before I can lead anybody else? And very, very quickly, I wanted to touch on a little bit on self-discipline. So in terms of leading yourself and leading a team, you need to be disciplined. You cannot expect to get things done if you yourself, again, are not disciplined. And I'm going to give you 3 of my top rules or my top tips on how to be self-disciplined. So just for the sake of time, I'm going to whiz through them. Rule number 1 to self-discipline is self-recognition. And what that means is being honest with yourself. Now, I know that you read books and that you watch YouTube videos that say that every single entrepreneur wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day. Now, you have been trying, like me, to wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, and for some reason, it just doesn't work. You have to come to a point, just like I have, and recognize and say, do you know what? Waking up at 5 a.m. is just not for me. So what I might do is I'm going to compromise. I might wake up at 6 a.m. or wake up at 7 a.m. or whatever it is that you need to do in order for it to work for you. And I loved how some of the ladies were talking about not comparing yourself with somebody else. Because yes, that person may be able to wake up 5 a.m. every single day, but does that necessarily mean that they're productive? It might not. They might be claiming, yes, I'm waking up every single day, 5 a.m. And I did go through a period where I was, and it is amazing. But for me, I've just realized that I'm a night owl. I like working up until the night. The other day, literally 2 days ago, I was up preparing something, again, that I'm launching on Sunday, so watch out for my Instagram. There's so many things that I've got for you guys. But preparing on Sunday, I was up until 3:40 a.m. finishing things off, and I had to be up the next day by 8 a.m. for an appointment. But that works for me. What works for you? Self-discipline only works when it's about yourself. Not about what you saw on YouTube, not about what you decided to go and take from somebody else. It's about what works for you. Now, my second rule, rule number 2 to self-discipline, is to write it down and organize yourself. The reason why so many of us are struggling to develop our businesses or to make things happen is because, as was mentioned before, you don't even know what your vision is. If I stood here today, I can genuinely tell you that I have my whole entire year planned. My 2020 was planned in 2019. Some of you guys stepped into 2020 and you're still figuring out what I'm going to do tomorrow. How? Write it down and make it plain. Make it simple. Write out the vision. Write out the goals. What do you want to achieve? Because when you start to write it down, it starts to become real to you. You start to see it, and that actually adds pressure. And it says, oh no, okay, I said that I was going to do this in February, so that means that I need to get it done now. It doesn't mean that you will do it straight away. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. I am not perfect. There are some things that I said I was going to do in January that I haven't done. But I said, okay, February, like the thing that I'm launching on Sunday, I said that I was going to do that in January. Didn't end up happening, but I said, it's okay. As long as I still set myself the task to get it done ASAP, I will do it. And now it's happening this month. But write it down, make it simple, and organize yourself. Something else that I do, which is a great tip that I use, and I'm so sorry, I know I'm running over, but I promise I'm wrapping up. Something that I actually use is that at the beginning of every single week, I plan out all the things that I need to achieve that week. So I write down all of the bullet points on like a notebook. I have my notebook that I carry everywhere. I've even got it with me now. I write down all of my points. Okay, week beginning, let's say whatever week it is this week. And then I write down every single thing that I need to achieve. And then what I do is that I split it up into the days. So I write down Monday all the way up until Saturday or Sunday, depending on if I've got time. And then I'll put in the different points underneath those days so that I know what I'm doing across those days. Some people don't get things done because they are overwhelmed. You're looking at all of your goals and you're like, crap, I can't do all of this. This is too much. So you go into defense mode and you're like, okay, I'm going to sleep. Or, okay, do you know what? I'm going to switch on Netflix. Yeah, you're laughing because you know it's true. You know it's true. Yeah, you know it's true. How many times have we done it? How many times have we done it where we do something to distract ourselves, to procrastinate? Procrastination comes when you feel overwhelmed. So stop overwhelming yourself. You are not a robot. You are not going to get everything done in one day. Give yourself the space to breathe. So please write it down and organize yourself. Now, final rule number 3 to self-discipline is recognizing something that I think is really important. I talked about this on my live stream yesterday. Recognizing that the pressure will increase, so you have to get stronger. One thing that I think that we do not talk enough about is the fact that the more you gain, the harder it will probably be. We seem to think that life is all of a sudden going to be easier. But I even remember, Prophet Cardi B. Prophet Cardi B went on her Instagram, because I really do think she's a prophet. She's a prophet in her own way. But she basically said something along the lines of, people think that, oh yeah, it's exciting to say, yeah, I'm a boss. But she looks around and she sees more people that she needs to pay. She's saying I'm a boss, but that means that I have employees that I need to look after and who are relying on me in order to feed their children. So if I mess up or if things don't go right for me, it affects all of these people. So understand from now that the further you go, the bigger you build your business. Now I have a team. And for me, it's added pressure because at the moment, thank goodness, I have people that are willing to volunteer. But I set myself the task that by the end of this year, I wanted at least 2 or 3 people that I had employed as part of my team. That's pressure. But it's pressure that means that I can't take that pressure and wear it and then start to shrivel and think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? No, it's pressure that has to make me stronger. You have to get tougher. So many of you guys that are probably even sitting here today are thinking, why is this happening to me? You're crying. Why is this going on? Why do I have to experience this? No, not why is it happening. how can I get better? How can I get stronger? How can I ensure that even if this comes and 10 times comes, I'm prepared and I'm ready to take it on? There's something, trust me, there's something I say, I'm doing that. There's something that I always say to people, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I say to people, you know, in this life, with all the difficulties that come, sometimes you have to learn to get gangster. You have to learn how to get gangster with it. Because some of us are too busy flipping and flopping that we are not recognizing that we're being our own greatest enemies. Sometimes you have to get gangster where you say, do you know what? This is a war right now, but I'm ready to stand up and I'm ready to declare war over everything. I know that I have my family relying on me. I know that I want to change and break the mold for young women. I know whatever it is that you know that you are trying to shift and change, you need to know that that is more important than what's in front of you right now. So you need to learn how to literally get gangster and stand up. Even if you're the most sweetest person, you don't even know what it even means to be gangster, okay? Let me teach you for a second. Being gangster means that whatever comes to you, no matter what, you're not going to move. Being gangster means that, you know what, even if someone tries to step to you, you're going to step in front of them and say, what is up? What's good? Being gangster means that you are, again, not giving yourself any other alternative but to succeed. And that is the type of energy, that is the level of energy that I need you to move in. I need you to recognize that things will come. It will be hard. Entrepreneurship is not easy. You will have long nights, long days. There'll be days where you struggle. There'll be days where you're like, I can't do this anymore. There'll be days where the pressure gets too much. But you have to be able to stand up and say, do you know what? I'm going to keep on going because there's something that I need to achieve. There's something that's going to come out of this. And I'm just going to make sure that I finish everything on here. And I'm just going to end with this. I want every single person in this room to ensure that they are in a place whereby they are training themselves up daily to face the multiple challenges that may come your way, especially as entrepreneurs and especially as female entrepreneurs. Because we live in a world whereby I still do think to some degree a lot of women are underestimated. A lot of people think, oh, that's cute. You're doing that. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So every single day, whether it be through the use of affirmations, whether it be through journaling, whether it be whatever it is that you are trying to do, every single day needs to be a training day for you. Don't let a day pass that you do not push yourself to be better. Because that's how you learn to stay consistent. That's how you learn to stay great. That's how you learn to get better at your craft, by it being a daily practice. It's not something that you click your fingers and achieve tomorrow. It's something that literally has to start by the little things you do every single day. So very quickly, I want everyone to stand up again, because you've been sitting for a long time. And we're going to end with this. Come on, guys. Stand up, stand up. I need you guys to have some energy here. What is this? Come on. We're all alive. You're not old and decrepit just yet, all right? Now, very, very quickly, I'm the queen of affirmations. I think that it's important for you to reprogram your mind. Because some of you guys might have come in this morning looking at yourself like, I'm ugly, I'm not worth it, I'm unworthy, I'm this, I'm that. So it is important for you to reprogram everything that you have going on in your mind. So we're going to throw out a couple of affirmations right now, okay? And I just want you to repeat after me, okay? And I'll say the word first, then you guys say it, and then we'll do it like that. Okay, is everyone ready? Yes. I'm not going to lie, you guys don't sound very good. Yeah. Is everyone ready? Yes. All right. I want everyone who's ready to go like this. And then go like this. And then go like this. And then go like this. You guys are making me stretch. You better do it too. Go like this. Go like this. Okay. I'm going to ask you guys to say the first line, okay? I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I don't believe you right now. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
Say it again. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
You guys don't say it. This side. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
This side. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
There we go. That's the kind of energy that I need. Right. Next line. I am more than capable. Okay, I want you guys to say it. So 1, 2, 3.
I am more than capable.
Say it again.
I am more than capable.
Say it one more time.
I am more than capable.
This side, say it.
I am more than capable.
I don't believe you.
I am more than capable.
This side.
I am more than capable.
There we go. We're going to say it one one more thing, okay? And I want you guys to say it from the depth of your stomach. Literally, in fact, from the bottom of your toe. Let it come from your toe and let it drive all the way up, okay? I want you to say one more thing. I will not let anything get in my way. And I'm going to add a little extra. Okay, guys, some of you guys are too eager, but I love it, okay? I will not let anything get in my way, and I will be successful, okay? I will not let anything get in my way, and I will be successful. 1, 2, 3.
I will not let anything get in my way, and I will be successful.
You guys need to say that one more time, because I don't believe y'all.
I will not let anyone stop me, and I will be successful.
Say it one more time from the bottom of your toe. Let's go!
I will not let anyone stop me, and I will be successful.
Give yourselves a huge round of applause. My name is Nissy T. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Please make sure you follow me on everything. Nissy T, NISSYTEE. Thank you guys so very much.